The NXL Midwest Open in Cincinnati, Ohio was held this past weekend, and the action was as hot as the weather. Hello everyone, I'm Craig, and welcome to Old Guy Paintball. This week we're going to review what happened at the NXL Midwest Open. Like I said, the weather was hot and humid and made for some challenging conditions, but so was the action. This was a very unique field layout with apparently I would say a diagonal snake, you would call it, and it was a very challenging field for most of the teams. There were not a lot of points scored. A lot of them were 1-point margins, a lot of low scoring games, which made it very interesting because the points often ran 5+ minutes. So it's kind of a little bit of a toss-up. It was a little bit boring, but it also had a lot of action involved that these points dragged out, and it was very competitive for a lot of teams. So let's get to it. First of all, congratulations to Red Legion. They are the winners of the NXL Midwest Open. They defeated the Tauntauns 5-3. The game did have some controversy in it. There was a reported that Fedorov wiped a hit in this match. I personally did not see it, and we haven't had a whole lot of video evidence supporting it, but the rumor floating around is that this was done, and and people were saying, well, that's what the karma was that the Tauntauns lost. Nonetheless, the Red Legion is just a very good team, and right now they've always been there, so it's not surprising to see them win. But there are a lot of other good things that happened in this tournament. Interesting, Paintball Fit got knocked out. They did not win. They were knocked out in the quarterfinals by San Antonio X Factor by a score of 2-1. Fit has been living on the edge quite often. There's a lot of their matches, especially on Sundays, they were winning either in overtime or 1-point victories. So this is not surprising. I mean, they're still a very good team, and it's tough to continue to win. When they were in semi-pro and they ran off that basically 5 wins in a row against Blast Camp, who basically came in second place, that was pretty much an unheard of thing. So overall, it's very tough in the pro division, and still, it adds to the mix. They're not out of it for the season title, but definitely, it'll be interesting to see how they regroup and come back. Another good thing that happened is the Royal City Sea Dogs made it to Sunday. Woohoo! That's good to see a rookie team get their first Sunday appearance. They were knocked out by Aftershock in the wild card round 3-0. But hey, you know what? It's a learning experience, and that's good for them. Also, the New Jersey Leverage got their first pro win over Seattle Uprising. I don't know if that did much to help them overall, but it's a good positive that they finally did beat another team and got their first pro victory. I'm not going to go over too much over the standings right now. I will be doing a mid-season review of the NXL here in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about how this is, where they're at, and how this is all going to play out. But overall, I thought it was a very good tournament. The games were very competitive. The refereeing seemed to be doing okay. I thought the field conditions were very well at the beginning of the tournament. But again, when you have so many matches playing in the kind of heat that we had in Ohio this past weekend, and the field did turn brown and got a little bit tore up, but overall, I thought the field conditions were probably the best so far this year. It seemed to be a lot of positive comments from people overall on the location, the grounds, how everything went. So I think that there's a lot to build from this, and for the NXL to return to Ohio and Cincinnati next year. The 3-man event was held on Thursday. I don't know about that. I watched some of it. It's intriguing because it's something new they're trying, but it just adds another day for the pros to have to come in, and also being on a Thursday, that's just another day people just probably aren't watching because it's an all-day event. You're not watching on the video stream, and most people were not there for the in-person. It's hard unless I don't know how much people have time off to, go view these things. So I'm a little, it's an interesting concept. I don't know how well this is going to work out going to the future, but San Antonio X Factor did win that 3-man event. Other than some stormy weather early in the week, which left the field conditions maybe a little bit questionable, it did dry out for Thursday and Friday, and it did get very hot and warm and muggy on Saturday and Sunday. But you know what? That's Ohio weather, that's summer weather, and that's paintball weather. So you have to kind of expect it. So that was, not really a big deal. The team seemed to handle it okay. But overall, I thought it was a very good tournament. There are some teams that continue to struggle. I mean, it was good to see Aftershock make Sunday wild card rounds, and they advanced once by beating Sea Dogs. But there's some other teams, they're still struggling, and we'll go over that here in a couple weeks when I do a mid-season review about where things are at. It looks to be a very, very interesting second half of the year with the season title still up for grabs. And, of course, obviously, they'll be playing for relegation here as the season progresses towards World Cup in November. But what did you think of the tournament? If you have any opinions, put them in the comments below. I'd like to hear what other people thought of how this tournament went. My pick of Tampa Bay Damage didn't pan out, and I was shocked, that also my sleeper team was New Orleans Hurricanes, and they didn't do very well either. And some of the other people who put down some guesses, I don't think nobody got it right this time. But also, if you have any comments, questions about it, please post them up and we'll address them. And once again, I want to thank everyone for all their support, their likes, and their subscriptions to my channel. Stay tuned for several of these upcoming events that I have going on with programming. So you want to make sure you subscribe and stay up to date with that. And once again, thank you again, and I'll see you on the paintball field soon.